Hey everyone, Angela Gerard, mortgage loan originator with Nexa Lending, licensed in Kansas and Missouri. For this video, I thought that we could go over the home loan process. So for some people out there maybe that haven't purchased their first home yet, or maybe people that haven't purchased a home in a long time and just want to kind of get the basics of what this process looks like. So we won't go too deep in this video. We can get deeper into things as we go along. So for today, step by step, step one, gather up some information, some things that you're gonna need. You're gonna need your 2 years employment history and address history for yourself and anybody else that might be on the loan, that you might be co-applying with you. So make sure you gather that up. You're also going to want income documents. So whether that's pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, maybe award letters if you get Social Security, child support payments, whatever it is, whatever your income is, have that information in front of you so that you can, access it immediately when you get ready to apply. In addition to income, you're going to want debt. This is going to be monthly payments on any debts such as auto loans, credit cards, student loans, child support. This does not include monthly service charges like your utilities, your cell phone bill, insurance, anything like that. We only want whatever's going to show up on your credit as a monthly obligation to a debt. So make sure you gather that stuff up so you have monthly payment amounts in front of you and so on and so forth. The fourth thing that you would want to gather would be assets, which means your bank, credit union, retirement, pension, cash value, life insurance. You want balances of any assets that you might have. That could also include a car that you've paid off, property that you own, anything like that. You want to have this information ready for when you apply as well. The fifth thing that you're going to want possibly is some idea of your credit score. Some lenders now are using Vantage Score, which means the score that shows on your Credit Karma. But a lot of them are still using what they call a tri-merge credit report. And what that does is it pulls from the three primary bureaus. That's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It'll pull your three scores, one from each of those, and then they will use your middle score as the qualifying credit score for your loan, interest rate, and so on and so forth. But like I said, there's some changes that are happening now, and some of them are using your Vantage score, which is kind of what you see on Credit Karma. So if you can, just maybe have some idea what your credit score looks like. If not, it's not a big deal. All right, so step 2, you're going to call a mortgage loan originator licensed in the state that you want to purchase in. They don't need to be in the same city. A lot of us work remotely, and a lot of this is done remotely now. Signatures, applications, everything. So you just want to make sure that they're licensed in the state that you want to purchase in. I work with Nexa Lending. We have about 3,500 loan originators nationwide. So if somebody were to call me and they wanted to get a loan in a state that I'm not licensed in, I could always refer you guys to somebody in our network that is licensed in those states. And I'm sure that there's other places out there that can do the same. But just look into that. Step 3, you're going to either fill out an application on your own online, but I recommend that you actually get on the phone with your loan originator because they can kind of walk you through that that loan application, let you know what's needed, maybe what's not needed right now. And on the original loan application paperwork, the stuff on here that you enter in at this time does not need to be perfect and exact. We just want a picture of what's going on. So don't stress too much about it. Also, if you're just trying to get pre-qualified and see how much you can qualify for and you haven't gone shopping for homes, this is fine. On the address section where it asks you, what's the address to the place that you're trying to purchase, just put TBD, to be determined. But again, I really recommend that you get on the phone with a loan originator that can help walk you through the application process, because it can seem overwhelming at first. So you're going to complete a loan application either online or with your loan originator. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We can get, fine-tuned as we go along. It's just going to give us a glimpse of your financial picture so that we can kind of start looking at what you may qualify for, what you may not, any issues that we might need to address. Step 4, we're going to pull credit at some point. You don't have to have credit pulled immediately. If you have an idea of what your credit score is, we can look at this picture and give you a lot of information as to if you would qualify or not, or maybe some things you need to work on, and kind of what you would qualify for before we move to that next step. Once you're ready, once you like the numbers, or things are looking good and you want to get a pre-qualification letter, then we can pull the trigger at that point. Just good information to have. So step 5, your loan originator will calculate your income, debts, assets, and available programs, and then one of two things should happen. Either we're not able to quite fit you into a program yet, you might need a little work, but a good mortgage loan originator will guide you on the steps to take to get yourself to a position where you can qualify. Find somebody that's willing to do that, to take the time with you. I offer those services, credit counseling, tips and tricks, ways that you can build your credit, things that you should and shouldn't do. And there's a lot of myths out there with credit that we're going to cover in another series. Okay, so that was step 5. Second part of step 5, if you do qualify, your loan officer will tell you what amount that you pre-qualify for and give you a letter to take to your realtor. Most realtors these days will require a pre-qualification letter before they start showing you property, just so they're not wasting your time or their time. They want to kind of know what price range you're in, and what program you qualify for. Because if you're going FHA, they might need to look at some different properties because some properties themselves don't qualify for FHA. So it's good to have that pre-qualification letter before you contact a realtor. Step 6, you're going to contact a realtor in the area that you want to buy in. And realtors a lot of times are going to, go in person to show you the homes. So you want to make sure that they are kind of in your city or area that you're looking in. Step 7, you find a home that you love in your price range and you sit down and write a contract sorry about that, I don't know what's going on. Write a contract with your realtor for the home that you're wanting to buy. Step 8, offer accepted. Realtor sends a contract to your loan officer who plugs in all the information and then kind of fine tunes everything. Step 9, you will receive a loan estimate, or you will receive loan estimate disclosures. These will show your loan amount, your down payment, the purchase price, your monthly interest rate, your annual percentage rate, monthly payment amount, closing costs, etc. So these documents, these disclosures will allow you to see the overall picture of what your loan is going to look like. And you can also shop around and see if possibly somebody else might have something better for you. So these are good to have and to hold on to. They will also provide you a list of items needed to verify all the information that we put on the application. Now we're going to fine tune things. We're going to gather documents to verify and paper trail and so on and so forth. Step 10, provide all your information to your loan originator. Step 11, your realtor or loan officer will then open title at a title company that you choose. They'll order the pre-purchase inspections, appraisal, etc. This step ensures that you and the property qualify. So we kind of went over that before, depending on the loan that you're trying to get or, the loan that you want to get. We need to make sure that you and the property qualify for this loan. Step 12, closing. Providing funds and signing loan documents. This is that final step where and a lot of this can be done remotely as well. But you're going to sign, all those loan documents. You're going to provide the down payment, closing costs, whatever funds you need to provide for appraisals, inspections, so on and so forth. And the seller is also going to do that. They're going to be signing their documents. They're going to be receiving funds after closing. I'm not sure why that's doing that. I apologize. Step 13, usually the next day after you sign your closing documents, you'll get keys and funds will be dispersed and you get to start moving into that brand new home. So these are just the basics of how the loan process works, and we can get deeper into things as we go along. But a lot of people will go out and start shopping homes before they've spoken to a lender. I don't really recommend this just because you don't want to be looking at, $600,000 homes when you only qualify for maybe a $300,000 home, because then everything that you look in, your price range is going to be, a disappointment. You also don't want to be, wasting your time or the realtor's time. So the smart way to go about this is to get with your loan originator first. Let them look over your finances, your credit picture, and everything else, and figure out exactly what loan program, what down payments, what closing costs, what interest rates, what price range that you will feel the most comfortable in, and then you can start looking. Now, I do recommend, though, it's not a problem if you start looking on Zillow, Redfin, Homes.com, Realtor.com, in the areas that you're thinking about buying, just to get an idea of what the market prices are in those areas, so that when you do go home shopping, you'll kind of have a feel for that and know if you're getting a good deal on a home that you're looking at. So there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I hope this was informative and I appreciate your time. I'm sorry about the lighting there, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.